Two cans, similar price. Both are the flagship deck stain for their company. But when you crack open what's actually inside the can, the story gets a lot more interesting. Think of it like this. You go to two different restaurants. Same price on the menu, same dish on the plate. But one, the chef is using store brand ingredients, and the other is sourcing something special. From the outside, you can't tell, but your taste buds are going to know. Today, we're reading the recipe books. Here's a simplified breakdown of what's actually in each can. Let's go through these together. Both products are going to start with the same foundation. Light aliphatic hydrocarbons. This is going to be your primary solvent, 25 to 50% of what's in the can. It carries everything else into the wood and is going to evaporate as the finish cures. This is the delivery truck. It's not the cargo. They both also carry a heavy aliphatic solvent. Same job, just slower. The slower evaporation is going to give the product more time to soak deep into the wood grain before it sets. There's also a third solvent that has traces in both cans. Hydrotreated heavy petroleum naphtha. This is the manufacturer just fine-tuning its consistency here. Nothing meaningful. At this point, these two systems look nearly identical, but things are about to change. Notice where these recipes start to diverge. The oil binders. This is the soul of a penetrating wood stain. Everything else is support staff. Let's look at the main event. Both products use linseed oil and alkyd resins. Linseed has been used in wood finishing for centuries. It penetrates deep. It's flexible, and it bonds with wood fibers. The alkyd resin is the synthetic backbone. It holds everything together and adds durability. Solid foundation, both products have it. But Cabot brings something extra. It markets the Australian timber oil as a multi-oil formula that incorporates tung oil-based chemistry. So what does this mean? Imagine two baseball bats. Same wood, same shape, but one has been pressure treated and kiln dried, so it has a much higher density. Same basic material, but one is measurably tougher, denser, and more resistant to impact and moisture. That's tung oil, next to straight linseed. Same family, meaningfully tougher. Tung oil cures harder, is more water resistant, and it fights mildew better. It holds up under heavy exposure. So, do you always need this? The answer is no. If your deck is covered, if you're in a dry climate, or if you're really good with your maintenance cycle, the linseed and the alkyds are going to serve you just fine. But if your deck is out in the sun and it gets the rain and the snow, taking absolutely everything that nature throws at it, tung oil matters. And SuperDeck just simply doesn't have it. Now the additives. This is where the two formulas really start splitting apart. This section is going to tell you absolutely everything about which each manufacturer prioritizes. Cabot adds paraffin wax. We see SuperDeck has none. Paraffin wax, it improves water repellency. It does this by making it harder for the water to be able to soak into the wood. But there is a trade-off here that's worth mentioning. While the wax is great for protection, you need to make sure that the wood is thirsty again before you put on the next maintenance coat. Otherwise, that stain is going to sit on top more and can possibly get sticky. Also, fewer waxes and fewer solids often are going to penetrate deeper into the wood. The deeper penetration and the no wax can make products like SuperDeck easier to maintain over time. This is because there's less material sitting on the surface. So we're starting to see that this becomes more of a design choice. Cabot pushes toward water resistance. SuperDeck is going to lean more toward penetration. SuperDeck also uses amorphous precipitated silica. We see Cabot has none. This silica, it's going to act like microscopic reinforcement within the coating. It gives a flatter sheen and is going to make the surface a little bit tougher and more scratch resistant. But it should be noted that the primary role is appearance. It controls how glossy or how matte it looks once it's fully cured. It's not adding water resistance, UV protection, or mildew resistance. Its main job is to make the finish look more natural. So right there, you're able to see a philosophical split between these two formulas. SuperDeck leans heavily toward appearance, controlling the sheen and the surface feel. Cabot leans more toward protection, adding ingredients that are going to focus more on water resistance and long-term durability. Neither's wrong. You just need to know what you're buying. We see that both products use the same dryer. That's the zirconium 2 ethyl hexanoate. This helps the oil to be able to cure faster. Same on both. Let's move on. But Cabot has one more additive that SuperDeck is completely missing. And this one genuinely surprised me. We see HALS UV stabilizer. Think of it like a shield for your deck. It's not the kind that just stands there and takes hits. This shield actually repairs itself every time that UV tries to break through. Regular UV protection in a coating is like a wall. UV hits it, it gets absorbed or deflected. Eventually, the wall is going to wear down. The HALS UV stabilizer works differently. UV light triggers a chain reaction inside the coating that breaks down molecular bonds. This is what causes the grain, the cracking, and the peeling. The HALS stabilizer, it steps in and stops that chain reaction before it can run. It does this over and over again. The technology shows up in automotive clear coats, industrial finishes that are engineered to last decades. This isn't cheap to include, and we see SuperDeck, it just doesn't have it. For any deck with significant sun exposure, this is a meaningful gap. We also see that both products use carbendazim as a fungicide. This keeps mold and mildew from growing on the dried finish. It's standard, it's effective, and we see the same concentration in both. But Cabot goes a step further and adds a second mildewcide on top of that. Imagine a security system with 2 locks instead of 1. Different chemistry, different mechanism, broader coverage. If you're in a humid climate, a shaded area, or anywhere that mildew could be a reoccurring problem, 2 locks are better than 1. SuperDeck stops at 1. Last, let's look at the trace aromatics. We see xylene and ethylbenzene. Both products, tiny amounts, same story. These are byproducts of the manufacturing process, not doing anything meaningfully in the finished coating. Identical in both, nothing to discuss. So here's what the chemistry is telling us. These two products share the same bones, the same solvent system, same base oils, same dryer, and the same primary fungicide. From a distance, they look almost identical. That's exactly why this kind of breakdown matters. Because when you zoom in, we see that the Australian timber oil includes tung oil, paraffin wax, a second mildewcide, and the HALS UV stabilizer. These are things that SuperDeck simply doesn't have. SuperDeck has a silica matting agent. This helps for beautiful appearance control and some extra scuff resistance. Both of these are really good products. If appearance matters and you're good with your regular maintenance, SuperDeck does a beautiful job. But if you want a finish that's going to give you the most possible protection between coats, the chemistry in the Australian timber oil is hard to beat. Don't buy the label, buy the safety data sheets. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.